Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1946A, and today's date is August 18th, 2019, and the title of the episode is Operation Yellowhammer, Patriots Taking Back the Economy. Before we get started, I have a question. Do you like secrets? If you follow QAnon, the chances are you do. So take a look at this. It's an amazing coin, and it's symbol of belonging, your link to like-minded people, all belonging to a group who are trying to understand why the conspiracy lives and what they can do about it. Where we go one, we go all is very apt and is one of the many sayings and symbols in the design. To buy or not to buy, go to greatawakeningcoin.com and use the code X22 Report to get $5 off a package of 2 coins. The choice to know will be yours. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the deep state, the central banks, they are panicking. And this is panic that has to do with the economy, with what's happening around the world. And they're very nervous because they see the writing on the wall. They understand what's happening. And their fear is they can't stop it. And guess what? They can't. I mean, if we go out to the UK, Boris Johnson has repeatedly said, listen, there'll be a no-deal Brexit October 31st. No ifs, ands, or buts. That is it. Now, the people understand that if he doesn't follow through, he's done. He made a promise. And I do believe he's going to follow through. And this is what the central bank, the deep state, the elite, the establishment, this is what they're afraid of. That they can't control him. So Jeremy Corbyn, he wants to stop the Brexit. And he tried to push this idea of make me temporary PM. But guess what? It didn't work. I mean, it just is absolutely ridiculous. He had no support in this whatsoever. I mean, they are desperate right now. And guess what? It is checkmate. Now, what I find very interesting, and we said this before, is that the EU, the central bankers, they're going to be pushing fear. This is all they have left. Fear is the name of the game. And we're not just seeing it out in the UK. We're also seeing it here in the United States. But first, the UK. Out of nowhere, there was this leaked document. And every time I hear someone leaking something, it's on purpose. They do it on purpose. Now, there might be different agendas associated with this, but this one was to spread fear. Who knows if this is even a real document? It doesn't make a difference. Their plan was to push this out there, get it into the mainstream media to push fear. It was called Operation Yellowhammer. This was a leaked UK document, and it warns that if there's a no-deal Brexit, guess what's going to happen? There's going to be chaos. That there's maybe within 3 months after this happens, the entire economic system in the UK will melt down. And it could get worse. There could be shortages of food, medicine, and closure of 2 oil refineries. Why do you think this was leaked out? You think this was just a normal everyday leak, or do you think it was done on purpose to spread fear? To get the people to say, you know what, we better not do this. Look at this. There was a document hidden within the government. It was leaked out, and now we know what's going to happen. This is exactly what they wanted to happen. But guess what? Boris Johnson, Trump, they're both working together, and this will not happen. They're pushing fear to gain control of the economic narrative. But the Patriots, they are taking the economy back. Now, here in the United States, what are they doing? Well, as we discussed on Friday, they are pushing a recession. All the mainstream media outlets, they are on the same page. And they're all getting the 4 a.m. talking points, and they're all pushing the same exact narrative. Now, out of the New York Times, they pushed an article saying how the recession of 2020 could happen. Now, this is how this article reads, and I'll read the first part here. The United States almost certainly isn't in a recession right now. It may well avoid one for the foreseeable future, but the chances that the nation will fall into recession have increased sharply in the last 2 weeks. This is the unmistakable message that the global investors in the bond market are sending. Longer-term interest rates have plunged since the end of July, a shift that historically tends to predict slower growth. Interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve and a heightened risk that the economy slips into outright contradiction. So, by the Fed cutting interest rates and the way the economy looks, we could be entering a recession. But we're not in a recession. They're building this up for the 2020 election. Remember, their entire plan was to push the entire economic system into a recession in 2020. This is why the plan was to raise the rates very, very slowly throughout the year of 2019. And that didn't work. Now think about this. Now they're saying that rate cuts, that is the problem, and that will cause the recession. But raising the rates doesn't cause the recession. See, they have it the opposite way. Actually, raising the rates, that is what causes the recession. Then the Fed lowers the rates very, very quickly because they already pushed the economy over the cliff. And everything starts to rapidly fall apart. Trump and the Patriots, they stopped this before this happened. And by the way, Trump is not working on a salary. He is in the presidential position, and he donates 100% of his salary back to the country. And he gives it to different organizations. I think the latest was the Surgeon General. And he does this because he believes in this country. Now, he's bringing back jobs, manufacturing, and he's continually talking to different business owners or CEOs of certain corporations. And Trump tweeted out the following: "I'm having dinner tonight with Tim Cook of Apple. They'll be spending vast sums of money in the U.S. Great." Because he knows that time is ticking down. He needs to bring back as many companies, manufacturers, businesses back to the United States because they're building the people's economy, which is parallel to the central bank economy. Back in the 70s, actually prior to the 70s, it was the opposite way. We had a gold-backed economy, the people's economy, and they were building a fiat central bank economy at the same time. Trump is just reversing this now. I mean, think about what the deep state has tried. They've tried everything. But Trump, he also tweeted out the following: "Our economy is the best in the world, by far. Lowest in unemployment ever within almost all categories. Poised for big growth after trade deals are completed." That's very interesting. Poised for big growth after trade deals are completed. Once he gets rid of the globalist system and these terrible, awful trade deals that are one-sided, we're going to see incredible growth. Import prices down. China eating tariffs, helping targeted farmers from big tariff money come in. Great future for U.S. Now, think about what the deep state tried. Now, Trump is out there, and he's giving the message that the economy is doing fantastically. Trade deals moving forward. Trade deal with China moving forward. Lowest unemployment. Now, the deep state, they tried to bring down the economy by raising the interest rates in 2016, 2017, 2018, and they couldn't do it in 2019. The Patriots reversed this. They pushed the idea of tariffs hurting the consumer. Turned out to be completely false because we explained how tariffs work. Tariffs do not hit the consumer. What happens is the first middleman in China, they get hit with the tariffs. Now, that product that is being bought by the middleman, it might be 20 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. The tariffs are on that amount. Then it goes to the next middleman, and they eat that right there. And the tariffs aren't as big as everyone thinks they are. Yes, with the amount of products coming through, it's a huge sum of money. But you don't get hit with the tariffs when they're here in the United States. Like if it's 10%, it's not 10% on that purchase of that item here. It was 10% maybe on that 30 cent, $1, $2, and it gets hit within China. They absorb it. This is why China is manipulating their currency to get over the tariffs. companies realize that they don't want to get hit with these tariffs because it's a cost to them. And with these tariffs, they decide, you know something, if this continues, we're going to move out of China. They are now pushing a recession, with mainstream media all in unison pushing the same message. Even Bill Maher said, bring on the recession if it will remove Trump. I mean, that's all they're saying. They're willing to risk a recession, a depression, just to get Trump out of office. Because they know if Trump controls the economic narrative, there's no hope for them. But we have to remember something very important. Who has the magic wand? Who understands the manipulation? Who is using all their weapons against them? It's Trump and the Patriots. They don't pull the strings anymore. The Patriots do. The Patriots, not just here in the United States, but around the world, they're taking back their economic future. And they're going to make each country great again. And this is going to spread even further. Because all you need is one country to show the rest of the world that, listen, if you separate yourself from the central bank, you take back control, you make better trade deals, and you produce, the economy does wonderfully. If you create currency without interest, the economy does wonderfully. And this is something everyone is going to see. And this is why the deep state, the central banks, are so worried. They're panicking like never before. One, because they don't control the economic narrative. Two, they realize the next push is to get rid of the central bank system. Three, when other countries see that with all of this removed, that the countries actually do well, other countries will follow. This is their biggest fear. And the Patriots are in control of all of it now. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.